Hi, my name is Leah Lovelight Michael, and thank you, Athena Village, for giving the opportunity to connect women and their stories to each other. What a spectacular opportunity to be part of this. How do I summarize my story in 3 to 5 minutes? Where to even begin? I was born into the opportunity to move through a number of life's challenges, either through impoverished hardship and or the trauma of abuse, mentally, physically, sexually, and emotionally. I grew up very hard and very jaded. And in the course of those experiences, I built a lot of armor around myself. I put my nose to the ground and I stayed focused. I knew I wasn't where I wanted to be, and I had my eye on the American dream. I wanted to achieve. And so I graduated a year early from high school, moved out on my own when I was 16, and I went to school and I got my very first job. And I left Montana and moved out to Seattle, where I followed into the corporate America dream. And at 25, I was doing everything I was told I was supposed to have done. I was married, I had a great job, I had bought a house, and yet there was something inside of me that still wasn't happy. And I had the thought one day, what would it be like to be 100% happy? And at 29, I went through a pretty serious breakdown and I made the decision to sell everything I owned. I divorced my husband. I quit my job and I purchased a one-way ticket to Nairobi, where I went on a walkabout. And when I landed in Africa, I thought that I was going to find all of life's secrets. I thought that everything that I was meant to know in this world was going to be found during this journey. And what I found as I moved through my journeys was that I was still unhappy. I was still riddled with guilt. I was still burdened by shame. I was still living this shell of an existence. I was surviving. And one day I was in Cairo and the cab driver looked over at me and then I was like, oh, freaking out. Because if you've ever been in a car where 40 million people live, it's quite intimidating. And he taps his heart and he said, strong heart. And that was the first time I ever really thought about my heart. And I was like, that's curious. And he said to me, he goes, you have a strong heart. And I said, yes, I think I do. And that's when my journey changed. Instead of looking externally for what I thought the world was going to provide to me, I started to look internally in what I was providing to myself. And that's really where my journey of healing began. So I started doing work with craniosacral therapy, Reiki. I saw shaman. I did personal development. I went down all of the paths that I went down in order to discover and find myself. And so 10 years after that time in Cairo, where the heart was first introduced, I can fully say that I am now a beacon and a light of love, which is what inspired me to write my book, Modern Fear, The Invisible Prison, which I really share a lot of details about moving through the trauma of going through abuse, about moving through the trauma of living a stressful money, life, impoverished story, about moving through the trauma of not really knowing where you belong or how you fit in. And really on the other side of that, being a conscious creator of our life and what's really matters most to us. Being the creator of what we actually have choice in. Our life can be a choice of anything. And this work means so much to me, and I specifically want to bring it to women. And that's where my business Reveal Retreat was created. And that's in a collaboration with the most amazing photographer of women. She's a birth photographer who also photographs women. And Reveal is really about the journey of coming home into your body, giving yourself radical permission to be seen, to be witnessed, to feel, to be alive again within your own story. So that's a little bit about me and a little bit about what I'm breathing into the world. And I really hope that each and every single one of you find a little bit of love in your heart, and may that love grow big and wide until it fills your home and everyone that you know and everyone that you don't know, so that we may make the choice to live a more embodied, loving life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a blessed day.